The Liberals back down, kind of. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. It may have been the case that Justin Trudeau didn't want to face the public. He didn't come out for question period on Thursday, the day after his manhandling fracas in the House of Commons. But that doesn't mean he isn't backing away. He apologized in the House of Commons earlier in the day, but he didn't want to come out and face the opposition in QP. That's fine. But the opposition were able to extract something from the government. See, part of the reason for the tensions in the House of Commons have been the draconian ways in which the government has been acting, invoking closure on debate, shutting down debate, forcing votes before the opposition's ready, refusing to even consider opposition amendments to legislation that, quite frankly, on the assisted suicide bill, most of the opposition, Conservative or NDP, is generally supportive. They just want to make the bill better, find improvements. That's what MPs are supposed to do. So all of that was coming to a head, especially after the Liberals brought in what's called Motion 6. This was a motion that would have shut down debate even more. It would have taken away legislative tools that opposition parties have been using for decades, if not longer, in order to help guide the agenda in the House of Commons. Sometimes to slow things down, sometimes to change the way things are being debated, but Motion 6 was going to put all of that power in the hands of cabinet ministers and parliamentary secretaries. It was going to end the ability for opposition to force snap votes on issues like the one that almost saw the Liberals lose the Air Canada legislation vote earlier in the week. So what happened? Well, they backed down. They're withdrawing this Motion 6, which would have taken away so much power from the opposition, be it Conservative or New Democrat. Here's Ron Ambrose asking about it in the House of Commons, and the answer from Liberal House Leader Dominic LeBlanc.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court decision is one decision, but this Parliament also has a voice, and that's the voice of every Canadian. Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, shutting down a debate on a conscious issue is unprecedented. So I'll ask the House Leader again. We know the Prime Minister has shut down debates time and time again, and he continues to treat democracy as an inconvenience. But he has two choices here. He can side with us and side with Canadians and give them a voice. Will he show members of this House and Canadians that he respects them?
Yes. Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we intend to continue to show Parliament and Canadians that we respect the role of members of Parliament, particularly in an issue and a piece of legislation as sensitive and as compelling as medical assistance in dying. But, Mr. Speaker, we also respect the deadline that the Supreme Court imposed on this Parliament, and we have consistently said we think it would be irresponsible to go beyond the deadline the Supreme Court gave this Parliament and not have the appropriate pan-Canadian legislative framework in place.
Now, the Liberals are still playing fast and loose with the rules. One Conservative MP told me that they are no longer actually talking to the opposition about what's coming up on the legislative agenda, that they're not giving opposition parties a heads up so that they can prepare properly for a debate, make sure the right MPs are there, make sure that people are briefed. They are trying to force things through. They are trying to run this as a solitary party, a single party parliament. It's not going to work, especially not if Justin Trudeau is going to live up to the words of his apology and actually believe that Parliament means something, that MPs matter. He campaigned on that. He promised that. And in his apology for manhandling both Brown and Brasseur, he said that he meant those things. Well, it's time for the government to show it and stop acting like they are little dictators running North Korea instead of Canada.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.